Okay, hello, and thank you for joining me today for the end of year CTE collection webinar. My name is Brenda Graham, and I am the Data Resource Specialist for the Office of Public Instruction. So this collection is one of the last of this current school year, which is amazing. We're going to review first off where to find the user guide for this collection. So as most everybody knows, all user guides are found on the Montana Office of Public Instruction website, found under Leadership, Data and Reporting, and AIM Achievement in Montana. This page is dedicated to resources for you and your district and schools. If you scroll down towards the bottom of the page, you'll see tabs here. There's user guides, upload templates, our recorded webinars, which this will be recorded and posted to this tab sometime tomorrow or the first of next week for you to review if you still need to do so. So we're going to go to the AIM User Guides tab and the User Guides by Collection Schedule. This guide is the last guide, like I said, on our collection schedule for the year. So you'll find it down on the right-hand side at the bottom, End of Year CTE Collection. This guide I have open right here will walk you through how to add your students as concentrators or participants in this collection. So this guide will explain how to identify the CTE concentrator or participants, and how to create a pathway record. The purpose of this is to fulfill the CTE Perkins grant federal reporting requirements. So let's go ahead and get started over here. The end of year career and technical education collection or CTE collection identifies all grades 9 through 12 high school students who have completed at least 2 credits, 4 semesters or more of CTE coursework in an approved Montana pathway. It also identifies those students who have earned less than 2 credits in a pathway, qualifying them as a participant. So if they do not earn 2 credits in a pathway, then they are considered a participant with 1 credit or less. This data is collected, again, as part of the district's Carl Perkins grant and federal reporting requirements. So it's important to note that CTE credits could have been earned at another high school in Montana. So you need to review your transcripts at this point in time in the year. If you do not do that ongoing during the year, review them for prior coursework, which will be entered as out-of-district credits earned, and I will show you how to do that. So the CTE concentrator collection changes. Some of this is new, updated from last year. As you know, last year, some of this module changed. They removed the module from the enrollment profile of the student and took it out and put it into another module all on its own. So that actually changed last year. This year, we'll review again what that looks like and how to add the credits. So, the identification of CTE students who are concentrators or participants is now being collected at the end of the year. It is for all students in high school grades, again, 9 through 12. This replaces a spring CTE collection that, again, this is the difference, that was formerly collected in March. So it has been removed and put into its own separate collection. The new screen or the ongoing screen this year for collecting the end of year CTE data has been relocated from the enrollment tab into its own private separate screen under the student information, program participation, and state programs. And again, I'll show you where that lives. The fall CTE post-graduation status follow-up fields will remain on the enrollment tab and can continue to be collected in the fall. Last year, as I've said, so this module changed a bit. So last year you were required to put in any historical data on your students. This year you are not required to do that because that should have already been done. You are focusing only on your students for this current school year and transfer students who need to have data entered. All right, moving on. As in each of our guides, we have a table of contents and an FAQ. The FAQ is very handy if you have questions on who you need to enter the data for, and is area of concentration required, so on and so on. So we'll review these FAQs fairly quickly. So what students, again, do I need to enter data for? All current 9th through 12th grade students that have participated in a qualifying CTE pathway course should have data entered. They're identified as CTE concentrators in this collection for grades 9 through 12, and that must have completed at least 2 credits in 4 semesters or more of CTE coursework in an approved Montana pathway. To be considered a concentrator, they need to have earned at least 2 credits in an approved pathway. Any credits less than 2 only qualify them as a participant. Is the area of concentration required? No, area of concentration has changed to the Montana career pathways. The field of area of concentration is no longer necessary. It was replaced with this new tool that I'm going to show you, and it's located under the index, student information, program participation, and state programs. So how do I identify Montana career pathways? There is an appendix, and the appendix is actually attached to this guide at the very end, and it's Appendix M. And this provides the pathways descriptions, and along with the abbreviated codes and links to secondary programs of study. So if we scroll right to the bottom of this guide, you will see right here that there are the multiple pathways that a student can take to get the 2 credits and to be earned as a concentrator. This is a very helpful page. Along with this page here, there's some links in reference to what this actually is. It describes it in more. These 2 are very helpful links if you want more information on the pathways. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up to the table of contents. One actually frequently asked question is, we had a change in the pathways we offer at our school, and we're not sure how to categorize the new programs. Or we may have a new teacher with a certification for teaching a different pathway that was offered. What do we do? This is a good example of questions that might be outside of the AIM responsibility. And that is, you need to contact Ian Beagles at this number at OPI, and he'll be able to answer those specific questions for you on exactly how the program works. Not necessarily getting the data into AIM, but how the program works. One more important note on this is, what is the purpose of the student single parent field? So this field was there last year, and I think there is some confusion on this field. And when we go into the module, you'll be able to identify, I'll identify this field so you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about here. This is actually a required field. What this field means is that this means a student you're entering the information for is a single parent. Not that they are living with a single parent, but that they themselves, the student themselves, is a single parent. So that's a very important piece to this. That, again, like I said, there was some confusion on that last year. Okay, so let's move on. As with anything in AIM, there are 2 methods typically to get data into AIM. One of them is the direct entry method, which typically district edition users use. And the other is an upload template, and that's a Montana edition specific user situation. So we're going to start with how to enter this data as a district edition user. The direct entry of this is specified right here in this user guide. I'm going to actually demonstrate this for you, so I'm going to move off the user guide and go into a staging and test site so that I can demonstrate that for you. But you can print the user guide and follow along as you wish or as necessary. So I'm in a test database. All the data is scrambled in here, so no student information should be identified or identifiable. But to enter the CTE data, I'm going to be sure I select my school. I'm in my current year. I select my school and the appropriate calendar. Then I'm going to go to the search tab and I'm going to go to student and I'm just going to hit go here. Or if you know of a specific student that you want to capture, you can actually enter that last name or something to identify the student here and hit go. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here and I'm going to pick Jaden. So Jaden, I know, has some CTE credits I need to add. So I click on Jaden and the first thing that comes up is his personal information. Then I'm going to go to index and I'm going to go to student information and I'm going to go to program participation and I'm going to go to state programs. Under state programs, you're going to see two tabs at the top. Most of you by now are familiar with this Montana instruction mode, which we've sent several emails about. For today, we're going to work under the CTE Participant tab. So be sure you're clicked on that, and you'll see here pathways that Jaden has already completed in a prior year. So to add a new record for this new current school year, I'm going to click New, and up pops this box below. So first I'm going to pick my pathway that Jaden took, an approved pathway, and I'm going to say he worked in finance this year. And is he a concentrator? So I know via the transcript that I've printed out on Jada that he is. He's completed 2 credits. So I'm going to say yes, he is. If he again completed anything but 2 credits, this would be a no, and he'd only be considered a participant at this point in time. But for today, he is a concentrator. He completed his 2 credits. Is Jaden a single parent? No, Jaden is not a single parent. The start date will automatically pop in for today, and it's the date the record was created. So it defaults to the day that you are actually creating this record, and that's okay, you can leave that. The modified date will change as you modify this if you do at any point in time. Then we go down here to CTE credits. Total pathway credits earned changes, as you can see it's grayed out here, changes via what you've given information to the software down here. So Jaden's credits were earned in district. So I'm going to say he earned 2. He has no out-of-district credits, and here's where you would put any dual enrollment credits or work-based learning credits that he may have as well. And then I'm going to click Save. And you can see it adds Jaden's information here with the current school year, his credits, excuse me, and that he is not a single parent. And yeah, he is a concentrator this year. You will repeat this process for each student that has information that you need to fill out or has completed a pathway. And this is all high school grade levels. It must be completed. If necessary, you need to go back and add, or maybe there was a discrepancy on the transcript and Jaden was not a concentrator. You can click on this information again and you can actually change it here. Here, I would actually put the modified date as of the date you modified it. It's defaulted into today because I changed it today. But if it's a different day, I would enter that modified date just for tracking purposes. Then you can click, you'll have to change this to no, he's not a concentrator, and click Save. And it automatically changes that information for you. Okay, Montana edition users. So there is an upload template available to you to upload this information. If you're using a separate SIS, PowerSchool, Schoolmaster, something different than Infinite Campus, you can actually extract that from your student information system, your third party, and export that in using the upload template available to everybody in Infinite Campus, available to anybody who can get to this website. So all upload templates are available again on the Office of Public Instruction website. Same place under leadership, data and reporting, and AIM achievement in Montana. If we scroll down again to the bottom and we click on AIM upload templates, you can find that template here under end of year CTE career and technical education template. I have already, for the purpose of today, actually extracted this and have provided an example. So if everybody can see that. So this is the example of the upload template as you download it to your desktop and start filling in the information. Let's review the top of this, what it's asking, and then it'll make a little more sense to you as we go on here and as you start adding data to this spreadsheet. So the record type is CE, which means end of year CTE. It's just the description for the upload template to AIM. The district number is actually the 4-digit number for your district. If your extract template is set up correctly from your third-party software, all of this data should come out automatically. So some of this you will not have to fill in. If you ever have a question about what that column or that field is asking for, you can hover over this box here, and it tells you exactly the information it's looking for and where to find it in AIM. Then it's asking for the state ID. So this will be the 9-digit state ID for your students. Students' local ID, last name and first name is not required, but we suggest it just for the purpose of uploading and getting the data in there as you want. The pathway, let's hover over that. The pathway provides codes to you to add based off the pathway the student has completed or is a participant in. If you hover over it, once again, you can see all this data here. This information will help you identify the codes needed for this template. The concentrator is just simply yes or no, just like it is in the module under state programs. No for nope, he is just a participant. Yes, he is a concentrator. He did get the 2 credits. Single parent is a simple yes or no. And just for the purposes of this template, you will also notice as you hover over this, towards the bottom of that yellow box is inner Y for yes or N for no. And this cannot be blank. Null means it cannot be blank. So be sure that there's a valid value in there, or it will spit it right back out to you as an error in your when you go and validate and test your upload. Pathway credits is where you enter the 1 or the 2 or however many credits a student earned in that pathway. District credits is the same. So district credits is typically what matches the pathway credits. Non-district credits, for the purpose of this, is the total number of credits a student earned for the pathways in schools outside of the current district. So if this was a student that transferred into your school during this 21-22 school year and is a CTE concentrator or completed some pathways, this is where you would enter that non-district credit. Dual enrollment and work-based learning credits, as you can see, they're black, so they're not required. Not every student has credits for both of these. So if they do, this is where you would enter it. Filler, you just leave that blank. And the year is the current school year that you're uploading this template for. So for this purpose, it's 2022. Then for each student beyond that you have to enter data for, you will just keep adding and entering the data here in this spreadsheet. Now, once you're completed with this, you're going to do a couple things here before you save it. And all of this information is actually, let's see if it's in the guide. Yes, most of it is here. You're going to delete this field, and you're going to delete the first 3 fields here. So you should only see this data, this first line here with no header, none of the red text showing. Then we're going to file and we're going to save as. You can name this what you would like. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save it as a .txt tab delimited file. Okay, so now that I have this template saved and ready to go, I need to add another header though before I upload this to Infinite Canvas. So I'm going to add a column here. And at the top row, and this is typical of any upload template that you would upload to Infinite Canvas. This header needs to be in every upload template before you even attempt to upload it. So this is the same across the board. This is not different for this collection as it is for any other collection. So at the top of this, you're going to enter HD and tab, and your date will be the day, today's date, I'm sorry, that you're uploading it. And you're going to tab over again. Sorry, it doesn't have my date format. And we're going to tab over again, and we're going to put in the time. The time is military time. So it's 2:52 p.m. to right now as I'm doing this upload spreadsheet. So I'm going to go 14:52:00. And I'm going to tab. And my last piece to this header is MT 9.1. And that, and tab once more. That is the same header as in every upload template that you will use to upload to AIM. This does not vary. So then I'm going to click Save again. Just going to save this as it is. And now that you have this spreadsheet done, you're going to go back to your Infinite Canvas. And in order to upload this, you need to go to the Index tab, scroll down here until you see Montana State Reporting, which is typically towards the very bottom. Then you're going to do Montana Data Upload, and you'll see all this information. This information here, you're welcome to read through it, but once you do these once, you'll understand that this data you probably don't need to review every time. Down here is what we're looking for. So import data usually comes in checked. The type today is going to be CTE end of year. The very first time you do this, you're going to want to validate and test your file. So ensure that this validate and test is chosen, and then choose your file. Which is, sorry, it's in my CTE collection. It's my tab delimited or my text document here, and I'm going to open this up. And then once I've chosen that, I'm going to submit to batch. And what it will do is it will churn and churn out there. So if I click submit to batch, I'm going to choose high priority, keep until I delete, and click OK. And it's going to put it in the queue. And what happens is it queues it right down here. So then once that report has finished processing, if you refresh it, you can see it should say down here that it's downloaded and ready for you to view. You can view the import results summary, see if you have any errors, correct your errors if you do, and you'll keep uploading this, validating and testing until you become error-free. As soon as you become error-free, your last upload, you'll change this to upload file. And that will enter the data then into Infinite Canvas or AIM and put it into that student's program participation state programs module that we were working in before. And we'll put it right back into here and CTE Participant. So whatever is on your spreadsheet as you upload it will then be put in here into this spot here with one upload. And then you don't have to go in and do, you can go in and correct these, I believe, as a Montana Edition district, but it's a lot easier to just do this outside of entering it one by one as a Montana Edition district. Okay, so that is how you're going to get your data in for the CTE concentrators for students. Once you have completed this process, whether it's manual entry or whether it's uploading the data from your third party to AIM, what you're going to do then is resync your data. So you're going to go back over here to the index tab, scroll down until you see system administration. I have too many things open. And we're going to find data utilities here. And we're going to find resync state data. I don't have the data resync open to me because this is a testing site, but what you'll find on that resync student data state data site is if you scroll down, there should be a box for CTE concentrator. And for the purpose of what you're doing today, that's what you're going to resync. So you select that CTE concentrator box and you're going to click send resync and it sends the data to the state. One other piece that I want to show you as you work through this are the ad hocs available to you for verifying and validating your data. So if we go to the index and I scroll down and I find my ad hoc reporting, under the filter designer, you're going to find a state published folder. If you expand that, you should see, and again, I do not have this in this database, and I apologize for that. There's 3 ad hocs that are specific to this collection, and they all begin with CTE EOY. There's CTE EOY concentrators and participants, CTE EOY incorrect concentrator possible, CTE EOY mixed single parent, which is kind of an important piece, like I said, that was misunderstood last year. So this year will help you find those situations where maybe it was entered incorrectly. Those 3 ad hocs will help you verify and validate the data as necessary. Okay. Well, I believe that finalizes and ends our EOY CTE collection for this 21-22 school year. I appreciate you joining me today. This will be posted out on the AIM webinar page, most likely by tomorrow or the beginning of next week. So again, I thank you for joining me. Have a great day.